Look at the difference. I mean, yeah. I mean, okay, in all fairness, you know, that Popeye's chicken sandwich, it's fast food, it's packed into this bag. I don't think they even put it in the box. It's one of those like foil bags. So that's a little bit of an unfair comparison, but total kissing ass today. Chef Brian Tsao kissing ass right now. Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef, owner of Mission Sandwich Social, located right here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and the only winner of Beat Bobby Flay Season 1. Today, I'm gonna be reacting to Joshua Weissman making the Popeye's chicken sandwich at home, but better. Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a special shout out to my newest sous chef level patron, Stephen Shao. Thank you so much for your support. And with that out of the way, let's get to the reaction.
Everybody's going all crazy for chicken sandwiches, which is great, but I think it's about time that we put our name in the hat because I think we can do better.
That is literally a picture perfect fried chicken sandwich. I actually did a reaction video, or I had this short-lived series called I Tried So You Don't Have To, where I reacted to the Popeye's fried chicken sandwich, which I did not like at all. And one of my biggest complaints was the pickle quantity. You know, they literally had just one big pickle in the center, but it didn't cover the bottom of the bun. So there were some bites with, some bites without. I like the pickle ratio here. You need to have your pickles in fried chicken sandwiches. It's just, you already know this is gonna be good. And Josh does know what he's doing, so looking forward to this one.
So yes, that is right. A rival v. rival. I'm just kidding, we're not rivals. This is not a sponsored post, this is not endorsed by Popeyes or anything like that. This is just really a remake of what I think could make it better. That should take care of the legal stuff, right? I really hope that I don't get sued. I'm nervous now, I'm like sweating. Jesus. I love pitting myself, an individual, up against corporations, am I right?
Joking, please lawyers, please, I'm begging you.
Let's just cut the chatter and let's figure out how to make this, shall we?
Right.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
And as far as like fried chicken goes, you know, Popeyes is definitely one of my top choices in the fast food, if, you know, between my fast food choices. Number one will always be Korean fried chicken, but Popeyes is pretty damn good. There's no denying their fried chicken's pretty freaking awesome. Let me know what's your preferred fried chicken, fast food fried chicken brand. I'd like to know.
Field research. There's only 2 pickles on here, which leaves like a huge blank space, which...
Yeah, that was my, like I said, that was my biggest complaint. My sandwich literally only had 1 pickle in there. It was, got me pretty pissed off. Do you know what's just as dope as this fried chicken sandwich that Josh is putting together? Hitting the thumbs up and subscribing if you aren't already. It's a little thing for you, but it's a huge thing for me, and it would be greatly appreciated.
It's supposed to be the spicy one. It's not that spicy, and I'm white, so... Okay, I got it.
So to get things kicked off, I started by making my Japanese milk
Ooh,
buns.
making his own buns too. Respect.
And I got those risen, baked off, and all that. I felt like this was
Nice.
the proper type of bun. Because
Beautiful.
It's lofty,
Picture
it's soft, it's a little bit
fucking
sweet, and it's
perfect.
got a great chew. And I mean, come on, look at that. Look at that shine. Now for one of the most important parts, which is the fried chicken. So first we're gonna marinate these bad boys. Now to
Okay.
make the marinade, you're gonna need 2 cups or 473 milliliters of buttermilk.
See, right there. Even Josh said buttermilk marinade. So Jack, take notes. This is not a brine. You don't brine with buttermilk, okay?
Add 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of kosher salt, 2
Okay.
teaspoons or 7 grams of garlic powder,
Beautiful.
and 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of serrano powder. If you're wondering where I got that, I actually made it myself. There's a video coming soon about it. You can also just use something else spicy. Whisk that together and you've got your marinade. Really simple. Then you're gonna take 4 to 6 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. One
Nice.
quick note about chicken thighs. For one, you wanna make sure that these are some big boys. Don't use little chicken thighs. Use the biggest ones
Agreed.
you can get, and don't trim too much fat off. You want some of that
Agreed.
fat, juicy, you know what I'm saying? I recommend thigh over breast for this because they're much harder to overcook. Add them to the marinade, toss them around, make sure that they're submerged, cover that with plastic wrap, and then place it in the refrigerator
That's
to
it,
marinate
baby.
for at least an hour or overnight. I find
Overnight?
that they're a lot better overnight though. Okay,
Always
so once
better
your chicken is
overnight.
marinated, we're ready to get our dredge going. So
Nice.
you're gonna need 3 cups or 395 grams of all-purpose flour, and to that you're gonna add 2.5 teaspoons or 13 grams of kosher salt, 1.5 teaspoons or 6 grams of smoked paprika, paprika, 2
Beautiful.
teaspoons or 7 grams of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon
Beautiful.
or 4 grams of oyster mushroom powder, and by the way, that's in that upcoming video. Optional. Half a teaspoon or 2 grams of fresh black pepper.
This series is called But Better. I sometimes have a slight criticism about his But Cheaper series because I always say that he's just giving you pure food costs, doesn't account for your time and your effort, your energy, you know. But listen, man, he's already making this way better. Way better. And I'm not just saying that. Listen, Popeye's fried chicken sandwich, if I was in a pinch, was at a rest stop and that's all they had, sure, absolutely, no problem. I just don't get the hype at all. Like, even Chick-fil-A, yeah, it's good, but like, I don't really understand the hype. In-N-Out, however, yeah, I love my In-N-Out, and it's not available on the East Coast either.
See, add 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of cayenne pepper, or, more. Whisk together until thoroughly combined. Okay, so now we're ready to dredge. The first thing I like to do to promote some flaky bits is to actually drizzle in a couple spoonfuls of the buttermilk marinade, just straight into the flour and kind of toss it around, and that'll help get some extra flaky bits on your chicken.
Not a bad idea. I never have done that technique myself. I tend to just make sure the buttermilk is really heavy on the, well, I guess it's kind of doing the same thing. So I always make sure the buttermilk is very heavy on the chicken, and obviously that's going to cause a lot of drip into the flour. And what that's going to do, the buttermilk is going to absorb that flour, and then it's, like he said, it's going to create these flaky bits after they fry. You can dip once or twice. I generally dip twice, and it leads to a really robust breading. But sometimes, admittedly, it can be a little bit too thick. So that's actually a nice trick. At some point, I actually stopped doing the twice dip. So meaning buttermilk, chicken into buttermilk into flour. But I do the first one lightly, go back into buttermilk, and then back to the flour. And that gives you that super robust breading, super crispy. I stopped doing that at some point, and I was just going really heavy on the buttermilk, like so. I would just move as fast as I can from the buttermilk into the flour and just really press it down. And I felt that was, that the breading wasn't kind of overpowering. So that's a nice trick where he's taking some of that buttermilk and putting it into the flour first. And as he keeps working, he'll continue to have those extra bits of buttermilk getting absorbed by the flour. And yeah, that's a great little trick and technique.
Drop it in the flour, coat it in flour, and press aggressively into the chicken. You really want to make sure you get every crevice coated in flour.
You want to press it hard because you really want the buttermilk to absorb as much flour as possible, because that is going to give you a much more of a consistent breading all around your product. Real quick, I just want to say thank you for hitting the thumbs up, being subscribed, and making me feel incredibly special. So special, in fact, almost like a significant other. Valentine's Day is coming up. Are you prepared for Valentine's Day? Have you gotten your significant other their Valentine's Day gift? Well, if you haven't, the sponsor of today's video, Holtzkern, has got you covered. For this Valentine's Day, I got my significant other a couple sets of earrings, a handbag, and a beautiful watch, plus one for myself. Hey, you gotta treat yourself sometimes, huh? Now, if you watch my videos for any length of time, you'll always notice I'm always wearing a watch. And what makes Holtzkern watches so special and unique is their incorporation of nature, things like stone and wood, all things that make each piece unique because it's part of nature. So nothing's gonna be the same. What you get is actually special to you. Holtzkern is a young team from Austria that has been sharing the love for wood and natural, unique products with the whole world since 2015. In addition to utilizing nature within their products, Holtzkern also supports reforestation projects and various other things that have environmental protection or social support in mind. Be sure to visit the link in the description below and use the code TSAO15 to get 15% off of your order plus a free wooden postcard of your choice. Again, use the code TSAO15, 15% off of your order plus a free wooden postcard of your choice. Get on it. Valentine's Day is coming. Don't sleep on this deal. Do it. Do it now.
Get a large deep pan or a medium-sized pot and fill it a little over halfway with oil for fry.
Good.
Make sure that there's some depth to this. You don't want it to be like, only an inch tall. I would say a couple inches at least.
You don't want to go too high. Anytime you're frying, you always have to leave room for the product you're cooking. Obviously, every time you add stuff to the oil, it'll rise the oil level. So a big mistake I see a lot of people do is they fill their fry pot to close to the top. They put in product, it spills over, and it causes a fire. So that is absolutely correct. Only go a little little bit above halfway, but obviously like the more mass of oil you have, the better it's going to retain its temperature, because every time you add something to the oil, it will cool down that oil. So, you know, for this, I would not recommend cooking more than one piece at a time, really. Ideally, you could push it to 2, but definitely no more than that. Again, every time you add product, it's gonna cool down your oil.
Fit it with a fry thermometer or candidate thermometer, and please do not fill your vessel beyond what I'm recommending here. Please, I don't want to hear about any fires, okay? Please be careful.
See?
And then heat your oil to around 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. Once your oil's at temp, drop in a piece of breaded chicken carefully. Make sure to drop it away from you in case the oil splashes, and then just fry, trying to maintain that temperature as best you can for about 6 to 10 minutes, or until golden brown and cooked through. The internal temperature should register 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 73 degrees Celsius. Once your chicken's done, place it on a wire rack to drain.
Going
and
onto
cool
a roasting rack that's going to elevate it so it doesn't trap moisture on the bottom. If you put it straight onto a pan, it's going to trap the moisture. It's going to cause that breading to get all that work you put into that breading, it's going to get soggy. So by putting it onto a roasting rack, it elevates it, allows air to reach the bottom, won't trap moisture. Very important step. Very, you don't want to do all that work for nothing, okay? Don't do all that work for nothing.
Also, quick note, please don't overcrowd your fryer. Don't put all the chicken in at once. Do it in batches, like 1 or 2 pieces at a time. So we've got our buttermilk fried chicken, we've got our buns. Now we need to make a mayo. First, start with 3/4 of a cup or 177 milliliters of mayonnaise. To that, you're going to add 8 cloves of black garlic that have been pureed. I just kind of spread it out with my knife because it's so soft. 1 tablespoon or 16 grams of spicy hot sauce. I use some homemade lacto-fermented habanero sauce. Kosher salt to taste. 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of smoked paprika, and a little bit of lemon juice to taste. Mix that together and you got it.
So he's doing black garlic, his own homemade hot sauce. I mean, dude, this guy's killing it. I really don't have much to add. Great stuff, man. And now he's got the pickle. We already know he's got his pickle ratio right. I hope he's going to toast that bread.
Now let's discuss
Please
pickles.
tell me you're going to toast that bread.
If you cut them like this, it doesn't really quite fit on the bun very good. So I kind of figured, well, why cut them like that?
Yes.
You could use the space much more efficiently by cutting them lengthwise into planks. You know, you can cut them as thick as you want, probably a little over 1/4 of an inch thick. Then they'll be easier to layer on there. But hey, to each their own. Assembly time. First rule, always toast your buns. Generously apply
Josh,
mayo
you
on
the
bottom
man.
bun. There's nothing
You the
wrong
man,
with putting it out,
Josh.
okay? I like a lot. Shingle on your pickles, and please no bald spots, please.
Yes.
Mayo up that top bun, and don't be scared to be generous. I put the mayo on a little bit thicker in the center because it's going to spread out when you press that bun down.
100,000,000%. So this is his experience talking, you know, but he put more in the center so when he presses down, it spreads out. That's another huge mistake I see. Even at my sandwich shop, we try our best to like put everything more in the center, although our sandwiches are crazy loaded, so it's easier said than done. But that's actually one of the things I teach when putting these sandwiches together, because after you wrap it and compress it, everything is going to squish out. So it's very important that you kind of focus these things in the center.
The chicken.
Chicken,
Yeah.
yes.
Poulet. If it wasn't obvious
Beautiful.
already, top bun goes on, and well, the sandwich is now complete.
Look at the difference. I mean, yeah. I mean, okay, in all fairness, you know, that Popeye's chicken sandwich, if it came straight out, you know, if you ate it fresh, basically they put it together, you ate it right away on site, I'm sure it'll be great. But I do like, if I'm remembering correctly, it's chicken breast, not chicken thigh for Popeyes. I definitely prefer chicken thigh. It's fast food. It's packed into this bag. I don't think they even put it in the box. It's one of those like foil bags. So that's a little bit of an unfair comparison, but I can tell you already, Josh's sandwich is by far the better and more superior sandwich. Total kissing ass today. Chef BriantsAO kissing ass right now.
And so it all comes down to this. It's very much of a, you know, you versus the guy she told you not to worry about, you know? You can choose which one's your favorite. So we'll try the Popeyes one more time. Okay, here we go. And listen carefully. So there's that. Now for my sandwich. So listen to this. Hear that? Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't even bit into it.
Again, a little unfair. That sandwich was in a bag, traveled, it sat there while he was cooking everything, unless he got another one just to film this, which I highly doubt. But again, zero doubts that his sandwich is way better.
You hear that crispy?
I want one.
Okay, so I get this is a little biased. I don't have anyone here to taste test it with me, so it's kind of hard for me to be like, oh, well, mine's better, duh. But look at it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
that the other sandwich is pretty darn good. Bun is like just too chewy in my opinion. I want it softer, and there's like not enough pickle.
I will say, if he were to mass produce his sandwich with his bread, I am not there to taste it and touch it myself, but I do think for the purposes of fast food service, a bit more of a robust bun would be better for consistency, because you don't know how far these sandwiches are going to travel. But I mean, I'm digging deep to try to find some criticisms.
This one, like, there's pickle in every single bite,
Yes.
which is what you want. You get every component in one bite. All in all, way more flavorful, way juicier because of that dark meat chicken thigh. I think even if this was fresh, it couldn't even get close to as crispy as this. It's a
I
chicken
agree with
sandwich,
that,
you know?
yeah.
If you don't want to make it at home, that's fine. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that mine is better, okay?
But do you want to know what else is better?
B-roll.
B-roll.
Ooh, I timed that pretty good. the product speaks for itself. So I needed a little break. Again, I need to mix it up. You know, do some like react to some terrible stuff, and then I need to react to a pro doing his good. So really enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you let me know what you want me to react to next in the comments below. Thank you again to Holtzkern for sponsoring this video. Guys, don't forget to take care of your significant other for this coming Valentine's Day. Don't be afraid to fail, because it can only make you stronger. And with that said, I am Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.